have covered a lot of deck lists on my channel. Mostly the most competitive ones, the ones that see the most success in tournaments, and I even did a guide on how to play the two best decks in the game, which are Pikachu and Mewtwo EX. But what if you don't want to play any of those deck lists? What if you want to create your own deck? How do you go about that? Where do you start? And what's like a good blueprint to follow? So let's go through that process together right now. First thing you gotta do is you gotta look at your collection. And there's one thing you have to know right out of the gate, which is that there are cards that if you want to build an actually good deck, which is the purpose of this video, right? If you did not want to build a good deck, then you can just throw whatever shit you want together and play with it, right? So yeah, the deck has to be somewhat good. And what you have to know is that there are cards that you cannot not play them. They are staples in every single deck out there. If you want to be good, you have to play those cards. There's just simply no way around that right now. And those two cards are Pokeball and Professor's Research. You cannot build a deck without these two cards. You put them into your deck. Then you check all the EX Pokemon that you have in your collection. You look at the EX Pokemon that you have two copies of. You choose one of those EX Pokemon that you have two copies of as your key card, as the card that you want to win the game with. That will be the card that you build your entire deck around. Once you've chosen this card, you take a look at it and you consider every factor there is. It's a stage 2. Then you already know you need other basic Pokemon. Other basic Pokemon can buy you a turn or two in order for you to find that Squirtle, the Wartortle and the Blastoise, and buy you the turns that you need to evolve them. That's already something you can keep in mind. Second thing you have to keep in mind is, look at this attack. What is the attack that he has that carries you the game, and what does that attack do? In this case, this Pokemon, if this Pokemon has at least 2 extra water energy attached, this attack does 60 more damage. Good. You see, he needs 3 energy to deal 100 damage. If you attach 2 extra water energy, he does 160. And that's what you want to accomplish. You want to have 5 energy attached to Blastoise, so he deals 160 damage. Now you already know 2 things. You need something that helps you attach these water energies to Blastoise, because 5 is a pretty big number. That will take you 5 turns to attach 5 energy to Blastoise. That is usually too slow. You want, if you can, you want to speed that up. And then again, you only want to play one type of energy. You never want to mix things up. Since you have chosen Blastoise, you know that's a water Pokemon. So every other Pokemon that you put in your deck is either also a water type or a colorless one, a colorless Pokemon. And again, remember, you want to have 5 energy attached to that Blastoise, so you need to find an option to do that. So you go to your collection. So you go to your cards. you check what other water Pokemon do you have. Is there anything that can buy you a turn or two in order for you to evolve? Or is there anything that allows you to attach more than one energy per turn? Because again, Blastoise needs 5 energy. That's heavy investment. You need to speed that up. And then you will go to your collection and check every card, right? Does it do what you need? And you will find something like an Articuno EX, for example. That is a good basic Pokemon. It has 140 HP. And it will buy you a turn or two because of his high HP pool. Now, maybe you don't have Articuno EX. Don't worry about it. There is another option that everyone has available to themselves, which is Lapras. If you carefully go through your collection, you will have 2 Lapras. That is guaranteed. Otherwise, go farm that event until you have 2 Lapras. And you see, same as Articuno. That thing has 140 HP. It will buy you a turn or two, which is exactly that you want. Now, if you have gone through your entire water collection, the collection of your water Pokemon, you will have not found a card that lets you attach more than 1 energy per turn. Next step is you check your supporter cards. Scroll through your collection until you see the supporter cards. Here you go. You check every one of those supporter cards that is available to you. And you will find Misty. Choose one of your water Pokemon, flip a coin until you get tails, and for each heads, you attach a water energy. Exactly what you want. That's a must-have. Yeah, and you put it in your deck 2 times. If you don't have it 2 times, go spend the pack points to buy that Misty. You will see you have no other option than this, so this is another very, very important card that you need to have. Your Blastoise needs 5 energy and your Lapras needs 3 energy. That is heavy on energy cost, so you need to speed that up, and the only option you have is that Misty. And that means you have to use that Misty. There's no way around that, you know. Otherwise, the deck will just not be good, you know. And you want that deck to be good in order to have fun with it. So now, you have chosen your key card, you have the must play cards in your deck, and you have already built around your key card so to provide for it what it needs. Now the rule of thumb is you want to play between 6 to 10 Pokemon in your deck, and the same goes for trainer cards. You want to have around 10 trainer cards in your deck, maybe a bit more. Yeah, maybe a bit more, not a bit less. So you have taken a look at Blastoise, and you see it's a stage 2. You already covered that. You already have the basic Pokemon with Lapras or Articuno in your deck. That's 8 Pokemon right now. So you either put 12 supporter and trainer cards in your deck, or you're like, I want to play more than just the Lapras, and I don't have the Articuno. So then you can check your colorless Pokemon. Is there anything that is a basic Pokemon with high HP? And you will find things like Snorlax. Then again, you look at it, this thing needs 4 energy, so it's never gonna attack because your energy goes to either Lapras or Blastoise. This thing is never gonna attack, it's just there to Bio Eterno 2 with its massive HP pool. It's not an EX, so it only gives up 1 price. Another thing you will notice, it has 4 retreat costs, so you know that you're never gonna pay this 4 retreat costs, so if you put it into deactive, it's gonna stay there until it's dead. Which is no problem, because every turn it buys for you to set up the Blastoise is worth it. Yeah, then the other card you will find is Chansey. You compare that to Snorlax and you will realize really fast that it's just a worse version of Snorlax. It also needs 3 energy, never gonna happen. It has less HP and the retreat cost is, even though it's 1 less, it's still way too high. So you would play that Snorlax instead of the Chansey. That is easy to figure out. Now you don't necessarily, you already have that Lapras for the high HP pool, right? Or the Articuno. So maybe you are like, I don't want anything else with a high HP pool. I want to provide utility instead of the HP pool. Then again, you check all your water Pokemon. If there's nothing, you check all your colorless Pokemon and you will stumble upon Meowth. That every time it attacks, it draws you a card for just 1 energy, which is really viable because you need a lot of cards, right? You need the Squirtle, you need to ensure that you get the Wartortle, and you need to ensure that you get that Blastoise. And Meowth helps you with that. It's not gonna buy you a lot of turns, but it draws you cards instead. So there you go. You know, look at the cards, especially your key card, know what it needs, realize what it needs, and provide it to it by looking at your collection carefully. And that's about it. Then you make your decisions. Now you have all the Pokemon in your deck that you need. Again, you want, in Blastoise case, because that's a stage 2, yeah, you want at least 8 or up to 10 Pokemon in your deck. That's about it. Rest is trainer cards. You already have 2 Misties, you already have 2 Professor's Research, and you already have Pokeballs. Now if there's space left, you can look at the other trainer cards and you will find Potion. It heals 20 damage from one of your Pokemon. You think about it. Would my deck actually profit from having something that heals? And you will realize, wait a minute, Blastoise has 180 HP, my Lapras has 140 HP, maybe you play that Snorlax that has 150 HP, you know, everything in my deck has a lot of HP, and things with a lot of HP profit from healing, you know, everything that does not get one shot likes the healing. There are things that you have in your deck that are just there to buy you a turn or 2, and with Potion it can buy you 1 more turn because you can heal it out of kill range. And that's what you do with every single trainer card. Look at it. Does it something that my deck would profit from? And if you answer that question with yes or no, you know if you put it in your deck or not. Some things you will be unsure about, like this red card, you know. And in case you stumble upon cards that I could play them, I'm not really sure if I should, then go ahead and just try it and see what works for you. And that's how you build a deck. Let's go over all these steps in quick succession one more time. You put the staples into your deck. Those are Professor's Research and Pokeball. Then you go and choose a key card, the card that you want to build your deck around, and that is your win condition. That card is recommended to be an EX card. So you go to your collection, you look at the EX cards that you have, and you choose an EX card that you have 2 copies of. That's your card. And that's your keycard. That's what you build your deck around. You look at it, what it does, see what you need to provide to it in order for it to get its job done. We have just gone over this process with Blastoise. There you go. So you have chosen a card. If it's a water Pokemon, you look at the other water Pokemon. If it's a fire Pokemon, you look at the fire Pokemon. You look at, and after that, you look at the supporter cards. After you have taken a look at the supporter cards, you go look at the trainer cards. And that's it. The key factor is that you realize, what does your key card do and what does it need in order for it to get its job done. And you look at your collection just like we did, and you provided that. And there you go, you have your deck. Again, remember, you want to have between 6 and 10 Pokemon in your deck, and the rest is trainer and supporter cards. There you go. I hope that was fun and informative. But until next time, take care of yourselves, have a great day, and bye bye.